I don't join exclusive libraries. So it's been some time since I've done this. I like to go for walks, 1 hour walk in the mornings, and listen to podcasts. And it's been a long time, not only because the weather has been really crap, but because my daughter, I used to take my daughter for a walk for an hour. She doesn't like to be in the pushchair anymore. So all she likes to do is walk. And of course I can't walk with a 1-year-old, 1.5-year-old kid around where I live. You know, it's quite a long walk. So I had to swap the 1 hour walk for going to just the playground, really. And it's not long enough for me to listen to an hour of podcast and get my mind, my business mind in order. I used to not only push her around for a whole hour, and it's fantastic for babies to be in the pushchair for an hour around town, and not only they get much natural light and all of this, but they get distracted and they get really entertained as well. And I managed to get my head space where it needs to be and listen to podcasts, and you know, it's been really fantastic when I used to do that. So today it's the very first day of the year actually that I managed to go for a podcast. And I just wanted to let you know as well that I have done a new episode, a podcast episode talking about podcast. Is live, link in the description. And in that episode I'm talking about exclusive libraries and non-exclusive libraries, and what's the difference and what's the pros and cons of being with an exclusive library as a stock music composer, and music licensing in general, you know. So click on the link if you want to check that podcast episode where I'm talking about this topic. I do get a lot of people asking me, should I upload my music on an exclusive basis or non-exclusive basis? There's a lot of at times fear joining an exclusive library, especially if you cannot take your music down, or vice versa. If you have your music on a non-exclusive library, take that music track down and then submit that to an exclusive library, which I don't recommend you do. It is a very important topic. I think it's something that we all need to be aware of and to learn the difference and what's the best thing for you. When I first got started, I started as an exclusive author on one library, and let's make the distinction here that I'm talking about royalty-free libraries. I'm not talking about high-end boutique libraries where there's only a small group of composers. I'm talking about big marketplaces and royalty-free libraries like Pond 5 and Audio Jungle, because I think there is a massive difference between being an exclusive author on, let's say, Audio Jungle and being an exclusive author in a higher end kind of like library, because there's two different things. There's two different libraries. There's two different, even though it's still music licensing, it's a different kind of like and even though it's still exclusive, we're still dealing with exclusivity here. I think that this topic needs to be broken down and not mixed all the libraries in one pot. Yes, there is such a thing as non-exclusivity and exclusive libraries, but at the same time, what library are we talking about here? Are we talking about Pond 5, or are we talking about a higher end library? Are we talking about Audio Jungle, or are we talking about a different production music library where it does pay to join as an exclusive composer, which I have done? And if you have been following me, you know that I exclusively focus on non-exclusive royalty-free libraries. That's where I actually focus a lot of my, not only my content, but all of my music is basically non-exclusive. I don't join exclusive libraries unless they are higher end libraries. So I will rephrase this again. I only join non-exclusive libraries, especially royalty-free libraries, and I will only go exclusive if it's a major library, and if it's something that is really unique, and I know that they want maybe 10 songs or 10 tracks from me, and I will curate and I will actually compose fresh brand new music for them, and that I like, because it's very exclusive, meaning that it's exclusive because it's fresh, brand new music that I have composed specifically for them, and I don't feel anything to give that music exclusively to them. But if I'm joining a library like Audio Jungle, which in the past I was an exclusive author, and I will upload there, let's say 500 music tracks like I had, and those tracks are not performing well, I feel like I'm losing out, because those tracks should be in Pond 5 as well, and see where I can make sales and where they do perform very well, because we all know that some music performs better on other libraries and on other ones don't really sell. So anyways, it's just one of those things, really. It's just go check again. I really talk more in detail about it on the podcast. I've been releasing different content for the podcast. It's a little bit more intimate, I guess, and I can take my time and really go on a rant. And here on the YouTube, I just do different content for you guys, because it's YouTube, it's the nature of the platform. So anyways, leave in the comment section, are you an exclusive author in any library, and which one? And or are you more of a non-exclusive author? You know, and there's a lot of conversations about that only exclusive libraries are the ones that are going to survive. And again, this is a conversation when it comes down to what kind of libraries are we talking about again. And what's there? Is it a massive marketplace, or is it just a very small boutique with a handful of composers, where there is definitely a payoff to be really exclusive, and really just compose music for those type of libraries for sure, and be very selective. You know, be very selective, because there's nothing better than knowing that your music is maybe in different places at the same time, and knowing that you could be making some sales on multiple royalty-free libraries, but then there's a different way of licensing your music as well with higher-end libraries, where it does pay off depending on the contract as well, and depending on all the fees and all the details and depending on the agreement with that particular library. So anyways, guys, leave in the comment section what you think of this, and what's your take on non-exclusivity and exclusive libraries, and are you an exclusive composer on, let's say, a library like Audio Jungle and the likes. Nevertheless, I have a PDF, which is a free guide, link in the description, and it will get you the ball rolling. And in that guide, I have as well all the libraries where I sell my music, where I license my music, and I'm usually updating this guide as well as we speak, as I join even more libraries. And as always, rock and roll, and here's to your success.